Today I'm going to tell you about a woman with a heart of gold and kindness, a woman who has struggled through some hard times, and a woman who has never stopped being a supportive mother and grandmother. This woman I speak of is the late Judith Ann Douglas, my beloved grandma. She was true to the saying that a grandmother is a little bit parent, a little bit teacher, and a little bit best friend. I think many of us can agree that the love of our grandmother is irreplaceable, and as an Italian proverb says, if nothing goes well, call your grandmother. Judy was known to me not as Mima or Nana, but Granny. From the moment I was born, I feel as though me and Granny had a special bond. I was born in the same month as her, an exact week before her birthday, only 50 years later. She was the heart of our entire family. She had wings of love and protection covering us all. One of the earliest memories I can remember from my childhood was when my little brother and I hid in the back of my grandparents' van when they came to visit us. We wanted to go to their house so badly, but our parents told us no. So we took it into our own hands and hid behind the back seats and ventured out to their house without a single person knowing, until my grandparents were unloading their van and we popped out from behind the seats. My grandma grabbed us both up and gave us the biggest hug and told us we had to go home, that our parents were worried and looking for us. Granny was an excellent cook and baker. I think all of us can agree that a grandmother's kitchen is always the best place to be when you have an empty tummy. I used to salivate at the thought of going to Granny's house because I knew she would have some kind of greatness waiting for us to devour. HuffPost in 2017 states that 86% of grandparents bake cookies for their family. Well, my grandmother would bake cookies for us and all of our friends. Every single sporting event that my granny would go to, which was nearly every single one, she would bring treats for our whole entire team. It was a given. She was famous for her chocolate chip cookies. One of my fondest memories of Granny is our shopping trips we used to take. My granny was unlike any other grandmother that I had ever heard from. This woman would literally race somebody on the highway if they got too close to her. Every year we would participate in the Black Friday sales. We would stand in line for hours just to get a good deal on something one of the grandchildren wanted for Christmas. And my grandma was a beast. We hardly ever walked out of the doors of the store without one thing that we went in there for. She lived every day to make us grandchildren happy. My granny always seemed to be happy. There was never a dull moment with her. If someone was sad or mad, she had a way of bringing them right out of it. She was never scared to be herself, which is what I admired about her the most. She was always true to us and more so to herself. Granny was my rock. When everything else in life was crumbling away, she was always there to make it better. She taught me to be thankful for who I am, where I am, and above all, for my family. My granny was such a strong woman. She developed breast cancer at the age of 47 and went through treatment to remove the cancer, only to be diagnosed with breast cancer again 12 years later. At this time, I was pregnant with my first son, her very first great grandbaby. I'm sure you can imagine her need and desire to meet this very special baby. She decided to fight this cancer, undergoing chemotherapy, and soon becoming very sick. Unfortunately, the chemo was doing nothing, so she stopped. She was able to be at my baby shower for her first great grandbaby, but ultimately she fell short of meeting him, dying in October of 2008, just 3 months shy of the birth of my son. I love my granny with all my heart still to this day. Although she is not here physically, she's in my heart, and I know that she is watching over me every day. I strive every day to be more like her, and I hope that I can honor her the way she has honored me. My children have never met her, yet they know exactly who she is. They have grown up hearing stories about her and tasting some of her recipes carried on by me. They know how strong, big woman she was, and that she would have loved nothing more than to have been here to meet them. I think that all of us can agree that although grandmothers hold our tiny hands for a little while, they hold our hearts forever.